that will be pretty groundbreaking if it goes as we expect. But this is the kind of thing, we're not looking to prove that the Earth is flat, for example. You know, that's not the way, you know, it's a conversation we have every week when we, that's not what we're doing.
Hello everybody, I hope you're doing good today. This video will contain copyright material being used underneath Fair Use Act for educational purposes. There you go, a little truth from Jaron, huh? Because FECORE isn't out to try to prove the Earth is flat. No, they're just out putting out propaganda. That's right, putting out propaganda to further divide the flat earthers and to further divide the globe earthers and the flat earthers all in one shot. So anyways, let's get started with more of their lies. As you heard from Jaron, they're not out to prove flat earth. They're just entrepreneurs trying to make money in the flat earth community. You know, Jaron uses YouTube for his personal ATM. You know, he couldn't afford to move because he got bad credit. And then when he found a house, they paid double the deposit, and he didn't have the money for it, so he had to come to YouTube and make a video crying that he's being so wronged. Utter nonsense. So let's get started here. They call it success. The laser reaches 12 kilometers. What is success, ladies and gentlemen? Success is anything you want it to be. It could be wealth. It could be freedom. It could be... you know, marriage and a family. You know, it could be made up too, much like it's made up here. There's no success in this laser test FECORE did. Remember, their guidelines were this was going to be the most sophisticated laser test in history. This ain't even scientific, because all they did was shine the light across the freaking lake and said, oh, if I could see the light, it's flat. Just like I said this would all be back in my FECORE Pseudoscience Part 1 and Part 2. I called this out for the bullshit it was long ago. Long ago, I seen right through all their bullshit. Their lies, their deception. I mean, from the beginning, they passed this off as the first time this is ever attempted. That's a lie. They did this experiment back in 2016 at Lake Balaton with the same laser that they claimed they just got in 2008, in January of 2018, and it cost them $5,000. I mean, the lies are just one lie after another, after another, after another. And then you hear Jaron, they ain't even out to prove flat earth. So, they claim success at 12 kilometers. Well, this ain't success, because this was supposed to be a 66-kilometer test with 6 teams, 4 teams of 6 people spread out by kilometer along the frozen lake, drilling holes into the lake, measuring from the water level up to the beam, then going down another few kilometers and repeating the same step. That's what the test was supposed to be. And this is nothing like it. So there is no success. And you know what? There is no certified success at 12 kilometers. When they say success, that they got a world record at 12 kilometers, that's a lie. Let's listen to Bob.
We had mixed success with the experiment. We did actually set a Guinness World Record.
That's a lie. It's not a Guinness World Record. It's a Hungarian record across Lake Balaton. That's it. And it's not 12 kilometers. It's 4.7 miles. The distance between the lake across the distance across the lake. But there you have it. Let's listen to more. You know, they cry about cold weather too.
For that, we got an absolute positive lock on at a 12-kilometer measurement on the lake. We did not make our...
There's no measurement. What measurement, Bob? Please show me your measurements. You shined a light across the freaking lake and you said, oh, I can see the light, it must be flat. Big deal. There was no measurements.
66, and honestly, if you see the video, and I think probably at some point we may make that public, I'm not sure, that's up to Mike, but boy, I'll tell you, the conditions were grueling. Freezing, fog, it was ugly. Everybody...
Now, get this, freezing, fog, grueling conditions. What did they expect? They wanted a frozen lake. Did they expect 70-degree weather, sunshine, and a frozen lake? Huh, Bob? Now your guys are trying to get pity because the conditions were so brutal? The lake didn't even freeze all the way. People think the lake froze all the way. No, it didn't freeze all the way. Just the shallow areas. It was still susceptible to break up due to the tides coming and going, and then the melting during the daytime, because they couldn't walk on the lake. Because like I said, it's rare for the entire lake to freeze over to where you could walk on the entire lake. Out in the deep water, it wasn't frozen. So anyways, yeah, now they're crying because the conditions were so brutal. What did you expect? And now when I think about it, you did this in the worst conditions possible. It would have made more sense to do this in the summertime, because now you're doing this in wet, dense, heavy air. That's going to manipulate the beam a lot more than if you would have done this in sunshine. So, I mean, the lies and the bullshit just pile up here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep listening to Bob here. I think there's a little bit more.
He was sick. It was pretty bad. High winds. Just really bad conditions. But they did have success to some degree. Not, of course, what we were hoping for with the 66. However, I do know that
this wasn't success. You didn't set any historic records. This wasn't historical like you guys claimed it was going to be. It was a total failure. A failure that you're trying to pass off as a success. If this was a success, Bob and Jaron would have spent the next 2 Globebuster shows showcasing this whole thing. Instead, they spent maybe 2 minutes on it, and then another 5 minutes bashing me and Eric Dubé at IFers. You know why they're bashing us? Because we were right. I was right. I called this out long ago. I said this is going to be nothing more than you could see the light. The earth is flat then. And that's all it was, and it wasn't even at 12 kilometers. Just bullshit and lies. And here's their 2016 across Lake Balaton. They knew what these lasers were going to do and weren't going to do and all that other shit. This is just complete and utter fuckery. Let me show you something here. Here you go. A belated happy birthday to Professor Brian Clocks. Just for you, a sneak peek at FECORE official verified world record laser shot. 7.7 miles, or kilometers. 4.7 miles. It's not the 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles like Bob and everybody else claims it is. Just another freaking lie. They've been lying from the get-go. No Earth curvature. Unlike Mr. Stephen Hawking's fake test. Well, this test was just as fake as Stephen Hawking's. So there you go. Now you learn it's not even a world record. I'll show you it ain't even a world record. Here you go. Beijing, China, the 2011, September 7th, 2011. The S3 Krypton from Wicked Lasers delivers enough punch to send the beam 85 miles. That's the world record, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's not the world record anymore because now they say NASA or whoever made that laser and shined it at the moon and it refracted back. It was the longest distance world record, which is bullshit. So why would FECORE want to go into these corrupt organizations like, Guinness World Book of Records and want to set a record with them? Do you think you're going to get a fair shake? You already know they're corrupt. They posted that laser bullshit. You see the nonsense and all this? And anyways, their test is no big freaking deal because somebody did it in 2011 with a 1-watt laser. Now pay attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. Now Bob told us, let me get over here and let me show you this. I suspected, I said in my FECORE Pseudoscience Part 1 and Part 2, I suspected the reason why this laser is so expensive is because it's used for laser light shows. And this picture here just proves my suspicions right. because here you could see this clearly hooks up to a computer. It clearly puts out green, blue, red, and white. The one back here has green tape on it. The one over here has green tape on it. So they obviously had backup conductors or power supplies or whatever you'd want to call this thing. And they obviously hook up to computers so they can be programmed for the light show you want to put on. So they didn't need a light show laser to do this. They didn't need this laser. And the idea that they got it, you got Bob saying in January that FECORE just got their brand new laser for the experiment and it was custom built for this. It's all freaking lies. It's custom built for light shows. And I'll show you it's all fucking lies, because here we are, like I say, back in 2016, there's that same laser. It ain't nothing new. They already had it, and they already used it for this same test, and they did the same 4.7 miles back in 2016. They just repackage this and act like FECORE spent a lot of money on this and all this other crap. The only thing they spent money on was travel. That's it. A vacation for all these little FECORE clowns. They even sent Karen there. Why would you send Karen there? Huh? Look at this. It's a bunch of clowns. Mike Kavanaugh. You know, Sandor Zandusky or whatever his name is. I don't know which one is Dr. Zach. I sure would like to know that. Still don't even know if he's a real doctor. But I haven't seen any degrees. But there you go, folks. I mean, there's so much I got to cover here. I have to do a couple parts. Otherwise, I have a 40, 50-minute video, and I hate doing 40, 50-minute videos. I'd rather break it up in two. But there you go. Let me see if there's any more I want to show you here in part one. This is, like I said, this is in 2016. Same laser. They already had it. Yeah, I'll show you that later. Now check this out. This is a bold lie. The document is about a Hungarian record set at 7.7 kilometers, not the 12 kilometers like they claim success at. From a balcony. Nothing to do with the curvature. The document clearly states step by step. Now pay attention here, folks, because this goes to globe earthers. They could say, hey, this is proof the earth is curved, because the document clearly states step by step how they failed to set any record at long distances. And they did only one successful demonstration at 7.7 kilometers. So that means everything past 7.7 kilometers was behind the curve. Do you see where I'm going? And do you see where globe earthers are going to go with this? Okay? Even though all this is faulty, it's not even science. It's just it's just fuckery. That's all this is. Bunch of entrepreneurs looking to cash in on the flat earth community because they know there's a million or two flat earthers in hell. If I can get $20 out of half of those 2 million flat earthers, man, that's 20 million bucks. Do you see what's going on here in the flat earth community, folks? Okay? So let's see if there's any other pictures here. Oh, yeah, there's other pictures. Let me get to this one here. What the hell is this? The laser dropped over the 12 kilometers? Really? So are you proving concave earth or curved earth here? Do you see? Because this ain't proven flat earth. It starts out at 2.2 meters and it dropped down to 1.5. You see the fuckery here? And then this is the biggest thing I've seen that just makes me sick to my stomach, that these clowns. Listen, the day before the 12-kilometer distance was achieved. Now understand, the day that the certification officials were there, they failed at 12 kilometers and so on, 66 and whatever other distances they did at. Okay, they failed. But they're trying to tell you the next day after the officials left, the third-party officials left, we got the 12-kilometer distance we were shooting for. But that's not what caught my eye really here. Officials certified a FECORE laser at 7.7 kilometers, 4.78 miles, which set the Hungarian record for handheld Handheld lasers. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a handheld laser. They said they needed this specially built laser for this experiment when they didn't even use it. They used a handheld and set a handheld, not a world record, a handheld Hungarian record across Lake Balaton. Because like I say, the world record for a laser, a 1 watt laser, nothing special. Maybe it was special back in 2011, but a 1 watt laser reached 85 miles. But I got a lot more to cover, folks. You know, there's a lot more fuckery, as I like to call it. So make sure you stick around for part 2. Because I got a little voice clip from Bob, too. And Bob's defending and protecting government and their corporations. We'll see you around for part 2. Have a good day, everybody.